What up, guys? Welcome back to the vlog. I'm gonna start doing something a little bit different with my YouTube videos. Give it a shot. Since I do a lot in a week and it's so hard to like make individual videos about all the stuff that I'm doing, I figured I'm just gonna try to do like hold myself to a video a week showing what I'm doing throughout the week, cars I'm driving, what we're doing here at Toprank, include some of the racing in there, some of the Pennzoil stuff in there, some of the day-to-day stuff that you guys might find interesting, show you new cars that are coming into inventory, that kind of stuff, and then maybe just save some real special stuff for their own videos. So we're gonna start that right now. So we're starting fresh. So what up, guys? Welcome back to the vlog. It is Monday. We're here at the office at Toprank. Behind me, there's a whole bunch of cars. It is super, super hot. Sun has just been beating down on us. So we got a bunch of covers to go on all of the cars for the last few weeks. Try to protect things that need to stay outside from this blistering heat. This weekend was the Super Street event. It was really great. There is a Super Street video that's up already. If you want to see the whole event, go check it out there. Dustin came and hung out with us, drove his R34 and showed it for the first time. It was great. I took this car. This car I have been liking a lot. I took it up to Monterey. You can see the whole video in one of my previous videos where I drove this up to Monterey for Car Week. This car is really great, has the Nismo Aero, the LM GT3s, which are really growing on me. I think they look really great on this car. And overall, this car has been super great. All the maintenance and service is done on it. What's really nice about that is, especially right now, the air conditioning is ice cold. So I've been able to use that all week driving around. I don't drive that much, so it's not like I'm putting a ton of miles on the car, but it is cool to have a car handy that's good and clean and reliable to be able to take to some of these events that we're doing. Out here, it is hot, so dudes are out here cooking. New cars coming in. This is a customer car that just got delivered. This car was stored with us in Japan. We got the little JP sold thing on there. Andrew's doing his things, cleaning it up before the customer takes delivery of this car. But again, cool car, BDS LM wheels, S-Tune bumper, Bayside blue, so nice. Over here, more cars coming in inventory. Right here, we've got a race this weekend. Nissan Challenge is starting back up again after summer break. Generally, they take a break for the summer because it's so hot out. Our weather surprised us again by being even hotter than it has been this summer. So we are gonna be absolutely cooking. Right now, it is time to do an oil change on this thing. It is gonna be super hot, so we're using the Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic 10W60 in this car. Get it ready for Nissan Challenge, which is happening at Willow. If you don't know, Willow is literally in the middle of the Mojave Desert. It is going to be scorching hot. I'm talking track temps of maybe 130 degrees. So I'm planning on just absolutely cooking alive in this thing, and the engine is gonna be hot. Using that Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic is definitely gonna help keep the engine a little bit cooler, keep things at a decent operating temperature. So here's the current engine setup on the car. Again, kind of just simple and everything blacked out, but everything is very functional. This is the Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic 1060 that we're going to be using on the car. Shout out to Pennzoil for sending me some of this. This is available for order if you want to use it. It is what we recommend to use just in all GTRs, even if you're just street driving them, but it works really great for racing. It is a racing oil, so again, this is what's recommended if you're going to be tracking your car. The 1060 for sure. Also works really, really great just as a regular street oil. The RB26 responds really well to it, seems to like it and be happy with it. So if that's happy, it makes us happy. So on the lift for this, new diff is in the car already. This is the Greddy expansion tank on the back of the Nismo diff that I'm going to be running for the rest of the year. Hopefully that helps up some of my rear slipping issues on this car. Other than that, so many other things to do this week. It's only Monday, so thanks for hanging out for the week. Got to go pick up my car from this past event and really just kind of see what the week holds. So starting with an oil change and see what the rest of the week is about. We are back at Kaiser Cars picking up the R33 GTR after this weekend's event. This place is sick. Definitely go back and watch the previous video if you want to see what the event was like. Kaiser Cars is a pretty crazy place. Always some insane stuff around here. Gotta go try to find where they put my R33 GTR. These dudes are great. It's a cool private collection. Last time I was in here, my car was right here, art mapped, with a little thing that they were doing. Somewhere around here is a car, so let's go find it. All right, so the inside of this place is one of my favorite places in LA. It's so crazy. There's such a cool clubhouse here. There's so much going on. So many incredible cars that are all part of a personal collection here. So cool to see. It's like literally walking into a museum of all of my dream cars. Just this guy happens to have them. And right here is the R33 GTR. So this car, we've got some things planned for this week. New pads and rotors, some general maintenance thing, oil change, just some kind of things to freshen it up. I'm going to be continuing to drive this car kind of as my more regular car, while the R34 is in Japan and the R32 is race car, and the Supra at Greddy continuing to get worked on. So this kind of leaves me with inventory cars, and I guess this car as my personal car to drive around. The 911 got broken into, so it has a shattered window. So this truly right now literally is my only personal car. So heading back to Top Rank for more work today, but always cool to check this place out. One thing that we do a lot of at Top Rank is co-marketing. Basically what that means is that rather than spending a bunch of ad dollars other places, we're working with other companies, other brands, other publications to provide cars for them to use in exchange for mentioning that there are cars or the cars came from us. And one thing that we are doing next week is an article with Motor One where they're going to drive essentially a 32, a 33, and a 34 and kind of give their feedback on each one of them. So we went through a bunch of different options of whether we should use a stock one, should use a modified one, and ultimately all settled on we're going to use 3 completely stock cars. So we need to get them ready basically today so that they're ready for next week since we're not here on the weekends. First car we're going to be doing is this R32 GTR. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen me driving this around a little bit. I like this car a lot. My R32 GTR is obviously very, very modified. Can't really drive it on the street, but these are just really, really great to mob around in. I like driving a stock 32. It's one of my, well, it is my favorite of the Skyline GTRs, period. It is also my favorite of the Skyline GTRs to drive in its completely stock form. I really like that car a lot. So inside, we've got some other cars getting worked on. That'll be our 32 choice. Our 33 choice is right here. This is actually the only one in our inventory that is completely stock. And what's interesting about this car is that it only has about 10,000 original miles on it. So this white R33 GTR, bone stock, stock suspension, stock wheels, even has the stock exhaust. So these guys are getting this thing set up to be our second car. So stock 32, stock 33, and of course have to have an R34, and that is going to be this completely stock Bayside Blue R34 GTR. It's completely stock. The bumper is an S-Tune bumper, but that you could get with the car. Has stock wheels, stock suspension, stock brakes, stock interior, stock ride height, which a lot of people are like, what? Did you raise it? But that is just the actual ride height of a stock R34 GTR. So these will be our 3 cars for that. So going through, making sure that these are going to be good to be driven for an entire day, sun up to sundown. We're going to be driving these things, getting impressions from different journalists, photographers, and videographers, all part of the marketing game here at Top Rank. All right, before I can go home for the day, we got to wrap up one more thing. As many of you know, Pennzoil helps support my racing, some of the car builds, some of the things that I do surrounding cars. In exchange for that, I have to create some content, which easy to do because I use the product anyhow. Right now, the R33 GTR has been kind of the focus as everything else is kind of getting worked on. We got my boy Alvin here, who is quite a photographer on his own, is going to snap a couple shots for me really quick. So it looks like I'm kind of, you know, doing something before we get into actually doing it. Sometimes it's hard to actually film while you're doing the work, so I'm going to shoot a little bit right now so I can get this knocked out for them and then finally call it a day. Tuesday morning, welcome back to the vlog. Starting off today with a bit of a side quest here. Part of what I'm doing with racing involves getting product and help from sponsors. So today we are at Yokohama. I took this. This is something Sean had laying around. It's an Infinity QX56. This is what we use for pulling the trailer. So when I head to various tracks, I have to tow the car. Obviously can't just drive it on the street. This is what we use. Has a great tow capacity, gets the job done. I think it was pretty close to being free, so it does the trick. Holds lots of stuff in here, which is great because today we're picking up tires. If you've never seen inside of a tire distribution center, this is what it looks like. It's massive. There's so many tires, like as far as you can see, all the way to the end of the warehouse. The reason I'm here picking this kind of stuff up is because tires are very expensive. It's one of the most expensive parts of actually racing, especially if you go through a lot of them, which I tend to do. So coming out here and getting the tires helps offset the cost of Yokohama having to ship them to me, and then obviously having the tires offsets a huge cost for me. When you're at a much larger level, I assume they probably send you tires, or there's like a person who's in charge of that. As for me, I am that person. So huge shout out to Yokohama for the Advan AL52s to keep me going through Nissan Challenge, which is a 200 treadwear tire that I'm allowed to run for Nissan Challenge. And thanks for allowing me to keep coming out and picking up tires from you. It is a bit of a long drive. It takes me about an hour to get here, an hour to get back, but obviously well worth it to be able to keep doing this. Next, we've got to get these things mounted and balanced, so we'll be loading up the tires, going to pick up the wheels, and then headed to Big O Tires right around the corner from Toprank, who mounts and balances my tires for me. Load it up, and back to the shop to get these things mounted and balanced. All right, guys, it is Wednesday morning, so the R32 GTR is up and running. Brand new AO52s on it. Picked those up yesterday. Inside the car right now is Mr. Wakita, and he just rebuilt the diff on this car, so we're gonna take it for a test drive, see if it's making any weird noises, and if we are actually ready for Nissan Challenge this week. Good?
Yeah.
All right, well, good noises only, no bad noises, so that's good to know. Seems okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, so the conversation has turned into maybe needing close ratio gears for the car now. So this is Wakita's car. He has been working on this to also do some track stuff with it. He did one of the Nissan Challenge events in it. So what we're looking at now is the diff is in, which is good. Now we need to maybe make some transmission adjustments, which I don't think I'm gonna do right now because that sounds really expensive. We are looking at possibly doing a sequential in it, but maybe a gear set is the answer. So we're gonna hop in Wakita's and see what his close ratio gear setup for his transmission kind of feels like. So the car is still manual, not sequential, but it has a PPG dog engagement, and you can hear it's a lot louder. All right, always fun to learn something more about the GTR, but right now I have a Pennzoil PR meeting, and then a customer coming at when, Melvin? 1?
Yeah, around 1.
Customer coming around 1. All right, just had a customer leave. He was here checking out this R33 GTR that I'm definitely about to show you guys because it's new to our inventory, and I think somebody here might find it interesting. It's really sick. It has some super incredible Nismo parts on it, full Nismo body kit. Nismo, I'll just show you guys the car. This is the R33 that I was just talking about. It's really sick. It has the full Nismo kit on it. It doesn't have the 400R hood. That was exclusive to the 400R, but does have the Nismo rear bumper, the Nismo side skirts, Nismo LMGT4 wheels in silver, and the Nismo 400R bumper, which is arguably maybe the hardest part of all of it to get, since there's not really a replica of that you could buy, so it has to be OG. Has Ganadors on it, but the real selling point here is this M-Spec NUR, or NUR engine, I should say. The M-Spec and V-Spec two NURs got this engine. This NUR engine is special because it was limited to NUR cars, so however this person got this engine, that's pretty sick. They might have been available to public for a little bit, but generally you needed a NUR car, like proof that you owned a NUR, to get an extra engine. This engine's been totally gone through. On our website you can see all the stuff that was done to it. Has tons and tons of internals in it already. It's an N1 block, which is really hard to get these days. But if you head over to our website at importedvehicle.com, you can get a whole rundown and list of how this engine was built, what all went into it, in addition to the engine itself, which is very expensive. It's like another $12,000 or $13,000 spent on it. Dressed it up with some cool little carbon parts here to kind of wrap it all together. But this car is definitely a hot car. Hopefully this is the car for him. When he gets here, we're gonna find out. Inside, things are starting to fill up a little bit. We've got some new cars in. We have this R34 GTR that just came in. This got a complete refresh from Prince Nissan in Tokyo, which is a dealership. They do their own kind of sort of refresh on it. Got some LMGT4s, got some R35 Brembos on it, and underneath you could see a bunch of really all new refreshed parts. This is something that a customer requested we have done. His car was sitting in Japan for a while waiting to turn 25, so he wanted to send it out to Prince and get it refreshed. That is something that we do in-house if you want to have your car refreshed in-house, or if you want to send it out somewhere to either do Garage Yoshida, Built by Legends. If you want to do the Prince Tokyo thing, we can do that also. Got some other cars here getting ready to head out and ship. Some other new arrivals. This R33 GTR V-Spec just arrived as well. Really cool, nice, clean car, but this car, believe it or not, has almost 300,000 kilometers on it. So it's a super good car, very solid car, but it's been driven a lot. This also got a refreshment done on it, so the car should drive and feel pretty much like a newish car. So pretty cool to see some of these older cars getting refreshed, and also cool to see some of the owners that are buying them take the time to kind of go through and do that refreshment in advance, especially in Japan, knowing that when the car arrives here in the United States, it's going to be totally good to go, totally good to drive, feel like the car that they are expecting it to feel. I'm going to end today on this note. Nissan Challenge is coming up. We are leaving tomorrow for it. So the R32 GTR got its kind of final nut and bolt today. Ernie Fixmer went through, checked everything out. We did a few small changes to it, tweaked a couple little things here and there, did some small maintenance bits that needed to be done. But all in all, the car was pretty much good and ready to go. It's got some brand new Yokohama AO52s on it, which is a 200 treadwear tire allowed in my class for Nissan Challenge. So we're going to be putting this on the trailer tomorrow, taking it to Willow. I have to go back in and do some more work and some more emails. Tomorrow we have the Throttle Boys coming through to check out some cars and do a little bit of filming, and then most of my day tomorrow is going to be dedicated towards getting ready to head to Willow for Nissan Challenge.
I might have lunch with him or something, but
pretty typical little day here at Toprank starting off. Maybe not so typical. Got Mickey here. Usually
I'm here
shopping for something, right?
Yeah, we're shopping. We're definitely shopping.
Hey, we got Ricky
This
here.
guy too. He's a couple.
Last time the two of you were here, you left with matching cappuccinos.
That's right.
Is that what's going to happen right now?
Man, there's so much I want to say right now.
Right, we got Nate here with a camera in hand. That means there's some filming going down.
Yes,
and then GTR Festival. Guys, look it. GTR Festival is happening. We're all going to be
in
there.
America.
It's happening in the US, right?
I don't have to ride on an airplane for 16 hours to enjoy.
You've done two Australian ones. You've done the two big ones.
That's true. And Andrew is here.
I wasn't car shopping, but I probably will be by the end of the
doing the whole US tour, rallying the troops.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me ask a question for your audience.
It's a Corvette out there. What's up?
Andrew, I've been to Australia. I've seen the GTR scene there. When you pull up to Top Rank in America, is it surprising for you or impressive for you to see all the R34s here? Or is it normal? Is it normal? Is it like
it's I actually just completely I still love them, but at the same time, Like if you dated 50 supermodels back to back, you would still love them, but at the same time, you can just go, well, that's normal. And
yeah.
So for me to see,
you're callous.
I can see 25 R34 GTRs and walk straight past it to give you a cuddle. It's like, that's more important. I've seen many of them. The problem is, I've been around it for so long, and I've been here before and seen it. Don't get me wrong, still love it.
Yeah.
But to me, I see. This sounds so bad. When I see a 32, I see a 20 grand Datsun. And when I see a 34, I see a 50 grand Datsun.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was around for so long. It actually hurts my brain when I start hearing about what they cost now.
So basically just another day at the office for all of us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kinda, except I still get it. I still get it.
You're not even here to look at a GTR though.
No, but, well, maybe.
Maybe.
How do you know?
Well, maybe.
How do you know how do you know what I'm here to look at?
I'm just chilling.
He doesn't own one yet.
I'm just a follower.
He doesn't own one yet.
So in the midst of filming, we discovered a little issue that was brought to my attention. Despite having gone through this car yesterday, today it's not happy, which is just a GTR thing. So there is a leak from the back of the head, and the clutch fan's not working. So car is back on a lift, and we're draining everything out of it right now. Thankfully, Wakita is here today. Ernie and Sean are both out of town, so we're left to kind of figure this out on our own. I'm on track tomorrow at 7:20 a.m. So I guess I have between now, which is almost noon, and 7:20 a.m. To figure this thing out. All right, so Mickey and Ricky from Throttle just took off. They did some filming with these two cars today. Kind of the premise being, if they were going to trade in the Z that they just finished building, what could they get? I chose these two cars. These are two cars that I think are incredibly awesome. This car is just, it's cool, it's funky, it's fun to drive, but the DC2 Integra Type R for me is one of my favorite cars. A lot of people don't know that about me, but I do really, really like this car. I like driving it so much. It's a car that I don't really do a lot with, film a lot with, photograph a lot with, but it's like a good car for me to just take out and enjoy when I want to drive something. So they did a pretty cool video. I didn't film any of that. Go over to their channel and watch the video if you want to see the whole thing. We still have a ton to get through. It is Friday, so you guys have been hanging out with me all week so far, and there's still so much to do. The R32 GTR is currently suffering. Wakita is going to be working on it. It seems like this could go either one of two ways. It could be done relatively quickly, or this could be a long night. Either way, I'm on track tomorrow at 7:20 in the morning, so still so much to do. Alvin Miles going to Trader Joe's to get lunch. Over here, we've got some more cars showing up, stored with us in Japan. It's going through its kind of final stages of inspection here. When the car comes in from Japan, we do give it a once over, check everything over, make sure it's cool, get it cleaned up and good to go so the customer can take delivery of it. Handful of other cars here as well, some for inventory, some going through inspection. And back this way, the R32 continues to be a struggle, but I am hoping that with kind of everybody's help, as it usually goes, and especially with Wakita's help, we can get this thing back on track for tomorrow. It has been a crazy day, but I hear my car making all sorts of noise, so hopefully that's a good thing. It's running. Wakita is working on it, saves the day again. What do you think? Yeah. It's okay? Yeah. A little nervous, but we're gonna go drive it and find out. For those of you who are wondering, it is 6 p.m. right now. So in 12 hours, I need to have the car ready to be on track at, I think, 7:20. So we still got a bit of a drive. I still have to load this thing up, load the truck up, load everything up. So still a lot to do. Still need to test drive it, make sure that this is good. But around me here, we got the cars packed in for the night. I might have a little surprise appointment on Sunday. There's a customer that wants to drive in from Riverside to check out some cars. So it seems like it is going to be a long weekend again. But number one priority, making sure that this R32 GTR is ready to go for tomorrow for Nissan Channel. Yep, still here. It is 7:15, and we're having a little bit of a boost leak issue, which Rokita thinks might be the boost controller. So once again, last minute fixing something. So he's putting in a manual boost controller, and we are going to give it a shot, see if that solves the problem. Fingers crossed. 8 p.m. on Friday, and we are still here. This is about what time I was planning to actually be on the road. Obviously the car is not on the trailer. So right here we've tried fixing anything that could possibly be leaking. We disconnected the electronic boost controller, put a manual boost controller in to try to solve the problem. That hasn't seemed to have done it. Now we've got the coil packs out, spark plugs out. Rokita is checking on those right now to see if it could possibly be a spark issue. Things are not looking good. It's 10:30. I am absolutely exhausted. The car is on the trailer. I have no idea how this thing is going to do tomorrow, but we're showing up to get points, if nothing else. I am absolutely beat, but I got a 2.5 hour drive ahead of me. So instead of going to the hotel, I am just going to go straight to the track, sleep in the back of the truck, get up tomorrow at 6. Still a few little things to do on the car to tighten up, and then be on track. So long drive. We made it. Took a couple hours, but we made it. All right, good morning. Slept in the back of the Infiniti last night. Got the car here ready to come off trailer. It's bright and early here Saturday morning. Cars are starting to move around. Again, not really sure how this is gonna hold up today, but first session here is in a few minutes, and gonna hop out and see how it does, and hopefully it will be great, and it's gonna last me the whole day, because I'd sure like to hang out and get some more time on track today if possible. So I just came off track because car is having all sorts of issues. Doesn't want to go over 6,000 RPM. It's misfiring pretty bad as soon as it gets there, and power steering went out in turn 1. Had to work it pretty hard to try to make it come together, but still not going well. So looks like there's a solid chance this is going to be the end of our day at the track. So don't know how it's going to go from here, but I'm going to, I guess, wait to hear back from Sean and Ernie, see if they have any suggestions. Otherwise, this is the end of round 4 of Nissan Challenge. All right, so here's where we're at. Car still not going over 6,000 RPM. Absolutely nothing I can do about that right now. So the other issue I'm having is that after doing some checking, it threw a power steering belt. That happens on these cars. RBs are known for it. First time ever happening to me. We did the power steering belt 2 days ago. I don't know what could have caused it or why it would be doing it now. But I think what I'm gonna do is after this, switch to electric power steering. So stick a little bit more money into this thing. Try to not have any more incidences with it. But since I'm all the way out here, and I already trailered the car all the way out here, and it is Nissan Challenge, I am going to head out. I'm gonna just rough it on track, no power steering. Try to keep the car at 6,000 or below. Turn my laps however I can and get my points for being here and apply them to the rest of the season. You know, some points are better than 0 points, so try to get out, try to get some points, try to keep the car together as best I can, and then start getting ready for the next round of Nissan Challenge after this. Happy to be done. Happy to have been able to make it out here. Thank you so much, Rokita, for everything, staying late last night. Ernie, putting in what you can, getting me here today. Be able to do a solid 60 minutes on track in this car. No power steering for 60 minutes was not fun. My arms are a little bit sore. And I'm sweaty, so I'm gonna pound some waters, start packing up the truck, get things loaded up before it gets any hotter here, and then wait for these results. It has been a super long day. I'm absolutely exhausted after being on track for, I guess, all day in the blistering heat. As you know, you guys are following me for the entire week here. So it's Saturday night, which means we got one more day left. Behind me is the R33 GTR. I'm taking this car home this weekend because we are gonna probably meet up with some other GTR friends for ramen tomorrow. Catch up with Jack and the other guys from Ours Day and talk about what Ours Day 2024 is going to look like, as well as some of the other guys that run Nissan Challenge that are going to bring out some of their street cars. So that seems to be what we're doing tomorrow, assuming that I wake up and don't stay in bed all day. I will see you in Little Tokyo tomorrow. All right, guys. Long day yesterday with Nissan Challenge, but happy to have taken home second place. This morning is definitely a bit of a struggle. My arms are a little sore, but I am out for good reason. This morning is the Ours Day fall meet. Lots of Nissans here. Some sick GTRs, S15s, Zs, lining up the whole street here in Little Tokyo. It's really sick. Nissan Challenge is set up here with booth. That's who we spent yesterday with. And around here, all sorts of different Skylines, GTRs, generations of things.
How's it going, Brian?
Photographer homies. We got the great Steve Ellis.
Konnichiwa.
What's up? Hello, hello. What up, Jen? Hello. We got one of the raddest cars you'll ever see anywhere. It's Cadillac Pat's police car R33. And one thing I always like to say when I see this car is this is the same car that I drove in Japan with Dustin. This was the silver R33. Pat bought it and rocked it like that for a little bit, and now it is a full-on Japanese police car. Sick, right? All sorts of different things coming through here. What's up, man? He brought the Pulsar.
How are you?
What's up? Left early yesterday to go home to get this for the event today. This thing is sick, man.
Appreciate it, thank you.
We've imported some older one's, but this one's rad. This one's cool. Nice. Sick. A lot more 32s, 34s lined up. Crazy to see them all here. We even have a Newsy. Look at that. That new Nismo. Pretty nice. This turned out to be pretty sick, actually, to have the street closed down. Plus, a good reason to drive the R33 GTR. I do really like driving this car. It's fun to go from being on track in one yesterday to just cruising around in the cruiser car today. So not sure what I'm gonna do with the rest of my day here. I think there's still a customer coming later today, so I might have to go see him, show him some cars today on a Sunday too, which is kind of rude. But other than that, I'm wrapping up the video here. Thanks for hanging out for the week. It's been a good time. I don't know how long this video is gonna be, but I'm gonna edit it down, try to keep it short. And if this goes well and it's cool, I'm gonna try to do more of this. It's something new every single week, not just with Toprank, but with myself and Pennzoil and Yokohama and racing and all sorts of stuff. So nothing is ever the same. So I feel like I could just make video after video after video of just what a regular week looks like, and maybe I'll do that. So with that, I'm checking out. Alvin Miles with the B-roll. Back in the office tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
Tomorrow back in the office. Do this all over again. All right, just kidding. Not the end of the vlog. I am with the R33 back at Toprank because there is a customer that wanted to come today to check out some cars. It's a Sunday. I don't usually do this. He's come a few times to look at the cars. Initially, he was interested in this R33 GTR right here. So I've got this one pulled out and ready for him. This is not the car he is interested in now, but because it's what he asked for first and the first car that kind of drew him into us, I have it out here just in case seeing it again kind of gives him a reason to want this car. What he is here for now is this R33 GTR that we have on consignment. It is really, really nice. It's fully PPF'd. It's an R33 GTR V-Spec, really low kilometers, about 20,000 kilometers. So what is that, 13,000 miles, pretty low, but also has some interest in this R34 GTR V-Spec. This car shares a lot of commonalities with this R33. It's got the Nismo bumper, the Nismo side skirts, the silver LM GT4s. He likes all of that about this car, but also likes that this is an R34, sees maybe a little bit more potential for long-term value, upside and collectability, and of course, it is the R34 GTR, so hard to go wrong with that. This car is a really great car. It's got some HKS goodies under the hood, otherwise relatively stock RB26, Nismo S-Tune bumper, just like my car, the Nismo side skirts, and the silver LM GT4 wheels, which are hard to find. Now it has Ganador mirrors, which is also pretty rad. Inside, the car is super clean. This car has about 30,000 miles on it, so relatively low mileage car all around, and it is a V-Spec, which doesn't make a big deal to me, but is kind of cool to him. I think he's feeling the V-Spec, you know, effect. We'll call it the V-Spec effect, where it's kind of the car that, you know, it sounds cool to put it on the end, even though there's not a huge difference between the cars. He's definitely feeling the V-Spec stuff. This car right here that he initially inquired on is really cool, but it is not a V-Spec. It's an R33. It has the full R33 Nismo kit on it. You can see 400R front bumper, Nismo side skirts, the silver LM GT4s again on this one, as well as the Nismo rear bumper, which I do like and think is pretty cool. This one has a Schnur engine in it, so that's pretty rad. And outside of that, we're just waiting on him to get here to see what, if any, of these three cars he's gonna end up taking home with him. If nothing else, I spent another day at Toprank, so check back with you guys shortly, let you know how that goes. Outside of that, thanks for hanging out this whole week, following me around, and tomorrow is a new day, so we're gonna start with Monday tomorrow, and I'm gonna try another week of doing this and see if we can just stay on top of these weekly, what does a day or a week in the life of Toprank look like. See you guys next week.